What's it going, YouTube? This is Andrew back with another video. Thank you for joining the vlog. Today I thought that I would do an unboxing of my Garmin. I got this at the Prime store. As you can see there, the price of it, $475. And it was a little cheaper than it is in the truck stops. I think truck stops were $4.99 plus tax. This was $4.75 plus tax. So it's equals to be about probably $25 cheaper than what you're going to get it in the store. I haven't opened it yet, so I figured I might as well do an unboxing, because this is, if you're some new in the truck driving and you're interested in coming, or you're in the process of getting your license, or in process of TNT or whatever, this is something you're going to need once you start getting on your own truck. It doesn't necessarily have to be a Garmin. They got the Rand McNally's, and they got Garmin, they got TomTom. But all the research I've done, the Garmin seems to have the highest ratings. I've never used this particular Garmin. My trainer has this Garmin, and he had a Rand McNally, I think it was like a 7 Pro or something like that. And out of the two that he had, I like this one the best, because it seemed to take you lesser of the wrong ways. Like, this seems to want to take you on the highways more, and the Garmin seem to want to take you on the interstate, like back roads, and county road type things all the time. So I'd rather stay on the major roads than have to deal with interstates and going through cities and all that stuff. But, you know, this one's not perfect. This has led, when I was using this, when I drove, it has led you to the wrong directions. So you got to kind of compare, like I would compare this to Google, to the Qualcomm directions, and kind of map out where you want to go. But you don't when you're in a truck, you don't never want to follow Google, because Google's going to think that you're in a car, and it could take you on roads that you're not going to be on, or it could take you in a situation where you're in a low bridge, and now you're pretty much going to be stuck because you can't go anywhere. So you never want to exactly follow Google directions when you're in a truck, but you can use it to compare it to your Garmin and to the Qualcomm directions, to get an idea of the route you want to take. But this one's pretty good at alerting you about, you put your information in here, your truck and the size and the weight, which it's probably best to just max out the size and max out the weight and just leave it on there. That way you know that you're going to not get directed on roads you're not supposed to be on. But this does a pretty good job of giving you corner alerts, like if you're going to go around a slow corner that you would have a chance to tip over on. It gives you alerts on wait stations, and it gives you alerts on roads that you're not supposed to be on. So it's pretty good. And this one there's two versions of this. This is the one that has the dash cam, and then they have another version that doesn't have the dash cam, which is about $100 cheaper. I just got this one with the dash cam because that's all they have at the store. I'm not really big on the dash cam, but I guess if you have it, it's worth having. In case something happens, somebody cuts you off and you get in an accident or whatever, you got the option to press the dash cam to record that situation, and it could ultimately help you out in the long run for whether you're going to be at fault or not. And that is also municipal in court. In case somebody tries to sue you or whatever, you got video proof of, hey, I didn't do anything wrong. Here's the video proof of it. So dash cams do help you out in this day and age. So if you don't get a GPS with a dash cam, you may want to invest in a dash cam just for that reason, just to cover your own ass. Because like they're said, there's always people out there looking to make a quick buck, and the trucking industry is one of the biggest industries to get sued on. I mean, you could drive down the highway and you see billboards with lawyers saying you got into a truck accident or a commercial vehicle accident, contact us, blah, blah, blah. So everybody's on the ready to sue you, and the reason that is because it's so easy to go back and find something wrong. They'll go back and look at your logs. They'll go back and look at your times that you were getting in the sleeper, the times that you're not in the sleeper. And they're just looking for one little mistake. You can do just one little login mistake, and that's just their smoking gun to go after you and the company. So, a dash cam, it's pretty important to have, just to kind of eliminate any of that stuff from the get-go, because me doing the EDLs, I had a little bit of experience with that when I was with Swift. I think my last 6 months of with Swift, they went to the EDLs, but I didn't know much about it, so I pretty much just did on duty, off duty, because I was at that time I was in day cab, so I wasn't spending the night in the truck anymore. I was home every day, so all I had to do was just do on duty, off duty, and it automatically did my driving. But now, when I was in training and doing the ELDs, it's very easy to mess it up to the point where you go back into the sleeper and you forget to put you from off duty into the sleeper, or if you're in the sleeper and then you go out of the truck, it's easy to forget to put you from the sleeper to off duty, and just little mistakes like that, it could come back and haunt you if you get into an accident. But anyway, that's my little rant about that. But let's go ahead and open this. I can already tell this video is going to be way too long. But we'll go ahead and open it. Here is the GPS itself. And it's got the plastic on here, and I'm trying to do this with one hand. Yeah, of course it's taped. Hold on, I'm going to pause this and untape it, and I'll get right back with you. All right, so I got it unwrapped. I'm going to leave the little screen protecting thing on it for right now until I'm ready to use it. But here's the back. Right here is the dash cam, which on these, the dash cam is not adjustable like the older models. So you got to kind of put your GPS on the windshield. You got to turn on your dash cam, and you want to kind of try to center that kind of in the middle of your hood, to where you get a little bit of the hood, to where you have a reference where the front of your hood ends on out. In case somebody does cut you off, you want to be able to prove that, here's the end of my hood, and here's the car, and that's why, you know, they hit them or whatever it is. Because if you have it faced too high up and they don't have a reference point, they don't know how far away you actually are. So you want that front of that hood as a reference point to know that here's the front of my vehicle, and here is, you know, where the incident occurred. But there's the thing. It actually has a magnet kind of attach. Here's the cord, and here's a thing for the windshield. I don't know if you can see, but right here is where it attaches to the back of that. I'm not going to open any of this right now because it's going to be a little bit before I use it. That looks like hook it up to a laptop or something. And here's your cord for the to power it on. I'm going to go through, I don't know if this has power to it or not, so I'm going to go through, try to turn this on. If it does turn on, I'm going to try to hook it to the Wi-Fi. This, you can hook to your Wi-Fi to get updates. And it does have an app, I think, that goes with it to get traffic updates if you can keep it on Wi-Fi. I probably won't be able to keep it on Wi-Fi because that burns my hotspot up. But there really wasn't that great of ratings on the app, so I probably won't be using the app. But I'm going to pause this real quick and try to turn this and see if I can get it on, and maybe go through some of the features and the upsets or the settings for it. Alright guys, I'm back. I got this thing updated. I connected it to my home Wi-Fi. It probably took about 6 to 7 hours just to update the system. But here's the interface. I got everything updated. There's the dash cam, and you got the dash cam gallery, and you can record on the dash cam, and there's an app you can connect it to your phone using your network password and all that to be able to access your cam footage. But I can't get the app to work, so I don't know if it's because I was updating the system or what, but it just wouldn't connect. I might try it again just to see.
For additional commands.
And as you see, it's got the voice command.
Say a command.
It's got some of the settings. It's got the dash cam gallery, dispatch and track. I don't know exactly what that is. I know it hooks to this app. I have the Smart Link app. I just connected to the Wi-Fi or to my phone. So I have to figure out what that is. I don't know if that just tracks your dispatches, but you can also buy the E-Log adapter, and you can connect that adapter there. You can connect that to the GPS to do your ELD. That's more or less if you're like an owner operator or something. If you don't have Qualcomm or ELDs there, that's be able to hook there to keep track of your logs. It's also got your IFTA, your tax fuel that you can keep track of. You can hook a rear view camera up to this. You can keep track of your service notification or your service history. It's got smartphone notifications, which will just come up like if somebody texts you or calls you, it'll come up there and you can see what that is. There's a system update. As you can see, I just updated it. It took forever to update, so if you get one of these and you have access to Wi-Fi, you're better off just trying to update it, unless you got like a hotspot on your phone or something, but it's going to take a long time. It was like, I think 8 gigs it had to download, so it had a pretty good update on the software. And I don't know how often it sends updates at it, but this does come with lifetime map updates, as long as you got Wi-Fi connection. You can always update your maps. You get traffic info. I don't know, there is a spot on the app to get live traffic info, but you got to pay $5 for that a month. So I don't know if this traffic here is something that's going to help you out any, or if you have to pay for it. Trip planner. This is to help you plan out your trips. You can add your location and your destination and all that. I'm sure you can, like, say your starting route, and then like maybe add like where you want to take your break at, and then your final destination. You can kind of plan your trip out like that. I haven't used none of these features on this. Like I said, I used my trainers. The only thing that I used with his was just the navigation, which was the where to. This is basically the only screen I ever used on his GPS. I never got into the apps and stuff that are on here. You got weather and all that. So I haven't used all these, but I have used these. This is a good feature where you can find, say you want to go to a truck stop, and you're going to be in, say I'm going to go to Florence, Kentucky. And it'll give you a list of the truck stops in or around Florence that you can navigate to. So that's pretty cool, and it does with the truck wash or parking, rest areas. You also can do the same thing if you need service. You can look that up as well, but I'm sure if you're a company or whatever, or you'll have a certain place that you have to go. Like Prime deals mostly with TAs, unless you're at the Prime terminal, which is the best spot to go for any type of service. It's going to be your cheapest, but I think they deal mostly with TAs. But if you're doing your lease and you're the one that's going to be paying for it out of your pocket, you can pretty much go anywhere you want. But if you're lease with Prime and you're kind of wanting to, Prime will also let you make payments on some of your service as long as it's above $300. If you do that route, then you have to go to the TAs and stuff like that and get your approvals and all that. So this is the pretty much the GPS. I will give an update review once I start using it. Like I said, I have used it on my trainer's truck for 2 months, but I pretty much only used, the where to, either the address or the truck locations, the only 2 categories that I've used on it. And like I said, from using it from him, it was pretty good. There was a couple times that it, took me to the wrong areas. Um, and especially when you are stopping at a truck stop, this thing, you can't go by this to get you from the truck stop back to the highway, because it'll route you a weird way or a different way. So you got to kind of, if you're going from the highway to a truck stop, you got to kind of remember the way you came in, and go back that way, because this thing will route you a whole mess of weird ways, and take you way longer than you need to. But once you start going back the way you came, this thing will adjust and get you right back into where you need to go. So, like, getting on and off the highways, this thing's not very good. You just got to kind of remember the directions that you came in, and go back in that direction, because this thing's going to route you in a whole different direction. But this has been the unboxing of the Garmin diesel cam, the 785. You can see the number there. I did buy this at the Prime terminal for $4.75. You can get these at the TA for $4.99. Sometimes you can find a deal where they give you like a mail-in rebate for like $50 off, but they're kind of a pain in the ass, because if you're an over-road truck driver, you're not home that much, so your mail-in rebate is kind of stupid. But if you're at a Prime terminal and you see one of these, it's probably best to pick it up, because you're going to save yourself $25. And if you have your own truck, you can actually get these charged to the truck and make payments on them. So that's a good thing too. I'm going to end this video here. This video is probably like 20 minutes long. So you guys keep it safe out there, and keep on trucking.